Hey YouTube, I am trying to summon up the energy to do a quick recap of what sold this past week. We can start with the easy one, which is eBay. There were 0 sales on eBay. Seems to be the trend these days, and my eye is twitching nonstop, which is not my favorite thing. Um, so we will get into Etsy. So Etsy was busy enough this week that between the pop-up thing that I was doing and the garage sale, getting all that situated, packing, like it was a busy week. It was kind of crazy. But onward and upward. So, I just packed these up today. Sold a pair of Myatt Staffordshire England plates in their Indian tree pattern. I have had these things since the very beginning. I got those, I believe, in the very first Langston auction, and they just been dying on the vine basically until someone finally bought them. And they're going out to Utah. She had a coupon, the Don't Leave Behind coupon. So I had them listed for what were they? $14 because they were janky. I mean, they had some people like the crazing and the things like that, but some people are like, oh no, that's destroyed. I'm not collecting that. So apparently this person likes how it looks. I think it's kind of cool. It's not like I'm eating off of them, so it doesn't make any difference. So $14. She had a 15% coupon. So $11.90 basically is what I made. And they're off to Utah. Next up, we had another Don't Leave It Behind coupon. I had a little Mr. Bartender cocktail set. Musical notes, black and pink design, really cool. I don't remember where I got it from. I want to say it was maybe Bird Nest Auction or Brownstone Liquidators or Burns, one of those three, because that's really who I was buying from when I was getting all the stock in. Those went out to Phoenix, Arizona, and I had them listed for $45 because they were flawless. And she had a coupon, so she ended up paying $38.25. My earnings, after all that was like $28. Alrighty. Next up, this was something that I got from Langston, probably the last auction Jason picked up. One of the last two he picked up. So I only had it since maybe last September. And I didn't even take pictures of it until just a couple months ago and posted it. So it has sold, in my opinion, relatively quickly. It's an antique leather strap, cattle bell or goat bell, and the leather collar is like really old. It needs help, but the bells are, they still make noise, which I had to make sure that when I packed it, I put little pieces of foam in there, and then I saran wrapped it, and then I taped it on so that you're not jingling the whole way down the dang driveway, because no one needs to know what's in the box, right? So that, and I always saran wrap the entire thing. If it's like leather, paper, fabric, anything that can get wet and get messed up. Um, After I do the bubble wrap and all that stuff, I wrap it up in the plastic. So that went up to Connecticut, and it sold. I earned $65.48 on that, which was nice. Needed that. Then I had a vintage Hurricane Star model baseball glove, and it was not in great condition either. People don't like think about it, I guess, when you're putting things away, they don't clean them. and like wax them or oil them or anything or put conditioner on them. So they sit there and they have dirt and debris and stuff on them, and that starts just sitting there breaking down all the stuff, and it ends up getting ruined. So this was still usable, but not in great shape. That went down to Texas, and I made $29 on this. Then we have a floral crumb sweeper, hand painted Silent Butler, made in Switzerland, I think. Really pretty. And I want to say I got that in an auction, but I've had it for a couple years and I don't remember which one it was. That went up to Pennsylvania, and I made $33 on that. Then, oh, this thing. This is from the very first auction from Langston. There were two very large Japanese vases. Like, this thing was like probably 15 inches tall, and it had a repair. So I had it forever. Just had it for freaking ever. And I sold one of them about, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then this one's just been kind of chilling, hanging out. And I was actually going to take it over to the pop-up, and it sold. So cool. And I earned $47.18 on that, which is good because I know I did not pay that much for it in the lot. And I've maybe spent a couple dollars renewing it over all this past 3 years. 20 cents every 4 months is what Etsy charges. So there's that. And that went down to Georgia. Then I had someone reach out to me about the dimensions of this next sale. And it's funny because this was sitting in the pop-up. So she asked about the dimensions. I let her know what they were. And then, she bought it the day before the pop-up started. So I pulled it, packed it, and sent it down to her. Well, actually up. It went to Pennsylvania. And I think, let's see, I made $36 on this. Where did I get that? I want to say that came from Western North Carolina in an auction. From a company that I just don't use anymore because it was just cost prohibitive for the shipping. And hell, I don't even know if they're in business anymore after the hurricane came through and Helene and decimated the western part of the state. So she had a coupon from being in her cart. So I hope she enjoys it. I hope it makes it there intact. Then we had a 1978 Precious Moments Make a Joyful Noise figurine, the Girl and the Goose. I have sold one of these once before, so when I saw this in an auction lot, I think I bid specifically for this, and because I knew it was going to sell. And it came with multiple items, so I don't remember exactly what or who, but I just got it in. Or maybe I picked it up when we were thrifting. I don't know. I can't remember right now. But it sold, went down to Texas, and I made $21. Next up, I had a return customer come in and buy a pair of antique convex panel Victorian salt and pepper shakers. I picked these up from Langston at the last one that I went and picked up. And I just listed it. They didn't stay up there very long and she bought them. So she had a 20% off coupon. And so I earned $21. Then I had another return customer. He purchased an antique cream gold wood picture frame. It's quite large. And it had the original glass in it, which you just pray to the shipping gods that it makes it there intact. So hopefully it does. It's in transit and we'll see when it arrives. But anyways, that went up to New York and I made $30 on it. Then I had a pair, I guess. They're individual. I was selling them individually, but they were French rolling pins. One was a 16-inch classic wood rolling pin, and the other one was there was one that necked down, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, that was the dowel. Then the other one was the French tapered. I had those listed for $15 each or $18 each. She had a 15% off coupon. So between the two of them, I ended up earning $32. Wait. Yeah, $32. All right. Cool. Probably because there was a couple dollars or $1 in there for shipping. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. I might have to refund her some. Then I sold a teeny tiny little miniature white and gold tulip flower shaped bud vases. They're literally like 3.25 inches tall. And I got those from a Burns auction. And they went to North Carolina. Lord, I hope they made it there all right. So I made $12 on that. They're still in transit. Sometimes it takes longer to ship things and receive them within the state of North Carolina than it does to send something to Florida. Riddle me that one. Then this sold finally. I have several pieces from this collection, and this was from my very first Burns auction. It's one of the few things that I've got left that hasn't sold from that auction yet. And finally, this thing sold and went down to South Carolina. And let's see, what did I even have it listed for? $21. And after all the fees or whatnot, I made $18. Which is fine because I already recouped my money 3 times over from that first auction lot that I got from Burns. So I need to get rid of the hair keeper. You know what a hair keeper is? I can't even go into this. This is just one of my weird things. Like, I don't like unattached hair. Like, it needs to be attached to you, not randomly not attached. So anyways, I guess back in the day, they would brush their hair and then they would take the hair out of their brush and put it in these little hair keepers. And I'm just like, there was hair in it when we got it. And let me tell you, I was not okay with that. So anyways, they've all gotten washed and everything, and the hair's been thrown out, and you will not receive old hair from me. There was also a powder jar, which is really pretty, and 2 hat pin holders. I think they're gorgeous. I don't know why they haven't, I don't know, whatever. So anyways, onward and upward. Sold a pair of ramen bowls. I got that from Langston. And I want to say Jason picked that up. So this was a couple auctions ago. That went up to Brooklyn, New York. And I made $14 off of that. $14.71. I've got 4 left. I'm selling them individually because not everyone wants 6 bowls for ramen. Then another thing that I have had for ever. I bought this from an auction house somewhere in Pennsylvania, and it was so expensive shipping. I never bought from them again. And the things I did get took forever to sell. I still have one piece of art from this auction. And this thing finally went, and it only after I like dropped the price down on it like drastically over time. But I made $24 on this, and it went to Pennsylvania. Thank you, Pennsylvania. And then this thing, good Lord, I have had this forever. And after reading up on it, when I was listing it, it's technically bad luck to have this in your house if this is like your religion. So I'm like, great. It's going to be around forever. But someone finally bought it. Oh, thank you. So it is a silk painting of Krishna guiding, I can't see that. Excuse me. Guiding Arjuna. I know I'm pronouncing that incorrectly and I apologize. It's golden white on green silk. It's so pretty. The colors are gorgeous. And it's glued or secured to a very, very thin piece of like wood. So that went up to Ohio. I want to say it came from Ohio. I think I got this in a Burns auction, which is weird how that works. But anyways, it went back up there and I made $48.99 on that. Cool. Then four panel drapes. Old J.C. Penney drapes, green and gold. I just listed them. She messaged me and said, is this price for all of them? And I'm like, no, but I could do all four for $100. And she's like, I'll take it. So she went ahead and got that. She had a favorite coupon. And those were given to me. So $89 on that one. And they went up to Massachusetts. And she needed them. She's like, if I can get them by the 28th, that'd be great. If not, no worries. So they are out for delivery today. Yes. If it didn't make it today, then it's still got 2 days. So score. And the last thing that sold on Etsy was an antique Wedgwood flower-shaped salt cellar from the 1880s. That went to Maine. And I made $77 on that order. So some really nice sales this past week, which is super awesome. I very, very, very much appreciate it. And I just had a big old order come in just now. So they bought 3 things. Cool. Anyways, that's for next week. And I want to say, I sold a set of 4 napkins from Facebook on Friday. It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. So those were $35. So made $35 on that, which is really cool because that was from the Blush and Bloom collection. And I got that from an auction house. I don't remember who it was. Who was it? Can I see real quick without like going through like 25,000 pages? That'd be very helpful, wouldn't it? No. Anyways, that was a different auction house. It wasn't Bird's Nest. It wasn't Brownstone. There's another one that I'll use occasionally, but they're funny about their shipping thing. So I get irritated with that because sometimes they're like, we'll ship this thing and it'll show you we'll ship, but they won't ship this other thing, which is less destructible than the thing that they will ship. So it's like, I don't understand your logic. We'll leave it at that. So I sold that. Everything else, I don't think I met anyone to sell anything on Facebook this week, which is good because I was just completely swamped. So that wraps that up. I wasn't sure I was going to do a video. This is a very quick one, and yeah, cool. Y'all take care, have a good week, and I will see you. I've got a small auction haul video that I'm getting ready to do, and I'll have that posted. And I won a few things from Langston, so I'm going over to Wilson tomorrow to pick them up. And I'll do an auction haul for that later this week. Be good, but not too good.